Hi guys, today I'm going to talk with you about potatoes and how to prepare them before putting them in the soil. So a couple things to know about planting potatoes is that it's important that you buy them from a gardening supply store, specifically seed potatoes that were grown for planting. They will produce a higher yield, they are disease resistant, and more importantly, they won't add disease to your garden. That is really the risk of using potatoes that are store-bought. The other issue with using store-bought potatoes, especially if they're non-organic, is that they have been treated to inhibit any kind of growth on the actual potato, so you won't really grow a potato from anything that's non-organic. The other thing to know about potatoes is that when you cut them up, you do create areas that could be more vulnerable to disease. However, you still need to do that with the bigger potatoes because it increases your crop and it helps basically get them ready to grow. It's like an alert to the potato. So the other thing to really keep in mind when you are getting ready to plant is to look for growth on the potato. So this is kind of a perfect example. With these little eyes, these are all the little eyes, and they're already starting to show growth, and that's great. When the shoots from the potato are about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, that's when they're ready for you to put them in the ground. We've also just, in a hurry, put potatoes in the ground that didn't really have much growth on them, and they did fine. So you don't have to totally overthink it, but that's really the best method, is to wait until they're growing. And these little eyes, as you can kind of see, like really up close, see how there's these 2 little shoots? So what happens is that one little shoot will turn into a root and it will go down into the soil, and one will become the leaf that will go above ground and provide the photosynthesis that the plant needs to grow. And I'll go into how to plant these. Right now, you need to prep your potatoes by cutting them and letting them cure for 2 to 3 days. Because like I said, when you do cut into the potato, you are creating a space for rot and disease, unfortunately. So if you do 2 to 3 days of curing, it will create kind of like a skin over that cut, and it will help your plant do better. So some rules about how to do this. You do not need to cut potatoes that are smaller than the size of a hen's egg. So we have a number of those in our red potatoes that we're just gonna put in the ground. So you don't have to do that. When they get bigger, we had a bunch of russets in here that we've cut up. You want to cut them up with about 2, you want to average 2 of these growth points. Some people say 1, some people say 3. I'm going for 2 per slice, right? So in this case, I'm going to do that. And you also should have about think of the size of an ice cube, like a 1 by 2 inch piece of potato to provide starch for the growth. So very, very, very simple, super meditative, very fun, nearly as meditative and fun as it is to dig for these and to harvest them. And if you get these in the ground now, you will have potatoes to start harvesting by July for your 4th of July potato salad. And ideally, you also want to think a little bit, if you haven't already bought your seed potatoes, you want to think about getting a variety of kinds. So we've got red potatoes, fingerlings. The fingerlings are really wonderful and buttery and smooth. Red potatoes are great for roasting, boiling, and mashing. and we have a bunch of the traditional russets and a few white potatoes. So try them out. Try a little variety, and if you have any questions at all, let me know. And we will be planting these, I think, on Sunday or Monday to give the 2 to 3 days. We're going to kind of track and see how it looks like they're doing by day 2. And so we would love to have you join us and follow along as we garden our way through spring. Talk to you soon. Bye.